Okay, so thought I'd do a video today of simple moves that people can do at home who want to learn Japanese swordsmanship. I'm not an instructor, I'm just a student, so this is stuff that I've learned. So I'm just passing on what I know to others. So simple moves. First off, stay relaxed. Don't tense up. Always stay relaxed. Second, when you take a stance, you want to bend at the knees and kind of separate your legs. It's called the horse stance. So if you want to know if you're in a proper foot distance, kneel down. And if your foot's between your knee and your left foot, that's a good distance. So don't have to wear the wakizashi. I do because it's the style that we learn. We always wear it. So best way to do it, relax, bend at the knees. Simple move. Of course, you want to pop the sword with your thumb, but one simple move is bring the sword up to your chest like this. This hand comes here. Draw and cut. Okay. So I'll do that again. And I have the sword out farther, the quick draw or half draw. Grab it, so when you bring it up, the tsuba should be near your shoulder. This hand comes up. I'm just pinching it with my thumb and my forefinger at first. Bring it down and then cut. And then when I grab, I'm starting to grab with these three fingers, not the thumb and the index finger. So, and if you notice, I also turn my body to the left. I don't know how many times I heard that when I started learning. Morihami, which means turn your body either to the left or to the right. So that's a really simple move. Don't try it fast. Do it slow. Especially if you're using a live edge. This is not a live edge. So eventually you should be able to go that quickly. Eventually. Another simple way, move that you can do is, again, bend at the knees, bring the sword over this way, pull, and then bring it back over to the front. So it's a forward stab. It's another really simple one. So bend at the knees, sword comes over here, draw it, bring it back. Downward slashes, very, very easy. Bring the sword up to about your chin level. Grab it, pull the side down, raise this arm up, and then cut down. Now, I made one little mistake on that one. I didn't move my left shoulder. So when you bring this up, you come down, kick this shoulder back. So when you go to cut down, this shoulder's out of the way. Because if you didn't catch it, the tip caught my left shoulder. So if you're drawing to this side, again, come up, bring this down, turn the shoulder back. Then this way, and way we strike down is we'll go on our tippy toes. So that's another easy one. Another simple one is grab the sword, draw it this way, and you have what's called the ice pick. Turn it, stab, and then you clean the blood off. So that's another easy way. One move I did in a short. People really don't, and it's hard to understand what you're doing because, well, you don't have an opponent in front of you. So this move is you have an opponent very close to you. All right? And what you're doing is you're either smacking their hand away from grabbing their sword, or you're punching them in the stomach before you do anything else. So basically, horse stance again. It's always horse stance a lot of the times when you're stationary. Hit down or hit straight. Then you come up. At the same time, draw the sword. And the sword's going to come fairly close to you, like that. And the reason being, like I said, your opponent is really close to you. So what you would do is you hold the sword like this. You're going to cut them with the kasaki across the chest, like so. Come back, hit him in the chin, and then you're going to rake it down the left side. At the same time, move back. So I'll do that one more time. So you either hit or punch them with the kashira, or knock their hand out of the way, come back, draw the sword, cut, hit, cut, and pull back. And we, in the style that I learned, we always, after we strike, move back. And the only reason being is you don't know what you just did is going to stop your opponent, or if you have others coming. So you move back away. So you're not keeping yourself in harm's way. Another style which requires a little bit of foot movement, which isn't hard, is take the sword, draw it, move to the left. Now the reason why we roll the sword is because we're hitting your opponent. So what you're doing when you roll the sword is you're building momentum for the impact. So you would come up, grab, same time move, roll, hit. And basically what you're just trying to do is drop the sword on your opponent's left arm. So it's draw, roll, hit. Very, very simple one. Because we're taught push cuts, diagonal cuts, horizontal cuts, and we're taught to cut from the bottom up, which requires, even I have a hard time with it. Another simple move, which requires foot movement, is you come up, draw the sword, move forward. Because while you're doing, when you do this, is you're trying to do a push cut. Because if your sword is sharp enough, it'll just go right into the meat. Because in theory, we're not aiming to kill. we're aiming to disarm or stop people. If you want to cut stationary from left to right, like always, take the horse stance, turn the sword so the edge is facing to the left. And again, like I said, heard this, I don't know how many times when I started learning. Ha-mi, more ha-mi, which means turn your chest. Turn, slash. So whatever direction, a lot of times, except for the right, if you're starting from left to right, you want to take and turn the saya. So that way the sword is set to the direction that you're going to go into. It's a lot easier instead of trying to do this and turn the sword. It's already turned for you. But these are just really simple, basic moves. They get a little bit more complicated. Where you do a reverse draw, you come up and pull the sword out like that. And moving from left to right to avoid, because always take yourself, if you can, off center line. Because if your opponent is on center line, you don't want to be there. So one simple fact, one simple move, kind of simple, is your opponent's coming center line, and then you would cut your opponent. Okay, so like I was saying, if your opponent's on center line, you want to take yourself off of center line, but still give a strike. One way you can do it is you just turn your body out of the way. So basically, it's like a sidestep. So basically what you're doing is you're giving a strike from underneath to your opponent's right hand. Another way that you can do it is you can basically like turn your body to the right. What you're striking is the left arm. Now the nice thing about moving to the right, unlike the left, when you sidestep and you're just turning your feet, that's all you're doing. You turn your right foot, bring this up, but you see where my sword is? That actually acts like a shield for you. And then you can strike. Because your opponent, theoretically, his blade should be right here. So it's going to miss you altogether. So, because in Japanese swordsmanship, you want to try and move as little as possible. Because the more you have to move, the more energy you exert. So if you can move very little or very quickly to end the attack, you use less energy, in theory. That's the whole point. So just by doing this, you've attacked your opponent, but he's missed you. So, like I said, these are just really the simplest moves I can think of that pretty much anybody can do at home, which is kind of nice because, like I said, if you live in a really rural area, it's kind of hard to find classes, basically live ones. Very, very hard. So online's great. Sometimes it's kind of hard because, like I said, having a physical teacher there is a lot nicer, but we all can't have that. So, but like I said, take it really, really slow. Don't try and do them fast at first. There's no need to. One of our sensei said, doing it over and over again, speed comes with time. So, which is true. I didn't learn how to do that overnight. So just take it slow, practice it, practice it, practice it. And I'm going to tell you what I heard, I don't know how many times. Hami. More hami. My God, I had nightmares of that. I mean, every session it was hami. Like every 5 minutes, hami, more hami, more hami. And I felt, I'm not an owl. I can't turn my body all the way around. Because they literally want you to take because one of the moves we have is you're blocking a strike so you can make a strike. And so you literally have to turn your top that way, all the way. So that, and we're not gripping the sword all the way. I'm just pinching it so it flexes. And then you can strike. So, yeah. You will constantly hear it. Some instructors just say turn your body. The technical term is hami. And it's either all the way to the left or all the way to the right. So, but that's all I have for you guys. Hopefully everyone's having a good Sunday. And we will see you later.